Happy Monday. This is an episode that I did not anticipate even doing because this is not for every single cargo trailer builder, owner, operator. This episode is going to be very specific to GM trucks that are compatible, which I believe is 2019, maybe 2018. My particular vehicle is a 2020 Duramax 2500 HD Denali, and I just got my rear trailering camera today. Any of you familiar with the GMC? It has an interior camera port and an exterior camera port and can be set up to work compatibly with GM's Infomat system. So, the instructions are very specific, and they say to even set this up on level ground. So I'm going to do some test runs here in the driveway. They say the best spot for it to work is dead center of the trailer, with certain measurements below the truck's natural camera, which is located on the third brake. Okay, and apparently this creates what's called disappearing trailer mode. So we're going to do some test runs to try to set up disappearing trailer mode without making it permanent, and then figure out where to run the wiring harness and all that kind of stuff. But this should be fun. So I'm going to toy with things a little bit, read the instructions a few times, and we're going to figure out how to get this GM camera on the back of this 20-foot Lark being towed by the 2020 GMC HD 2500 Denali with the Duramax, because I've owned many trucks. I've owned Fords, I've owned Chevys, and this GMC is literally cream de la cream. I purchased it specifically to tow my debris containers for my roofing business. And now that I've got this cargo trailer, trust me, there is no other vehicle that I would rather use to tow a 20-foot trailer than that GMC with the Duramax. Not a single one, and I've driven them all. So, to be continued. Let's see what I can make happen this afternoon. Okay, after much testing, I have decided to mount it to the top roof rack for a couple of reasons. One, mounting it in the dead center would mean wiring it from the bottom up, having to take it off every time the door comes down. The calibration on the feature for invisible trailer doesn't seem as applicable as I would like a better field of view for backup. So, pretty simple now. I've bolted it there. I can adjust it up and down. I'm going to run my wire over here and down the side on the roof using the attachments they gave me. And here I have a small equipment well where I will be able to drop down into the roof and then pop out under here, making it a more seamless assembly, because I would like it to actually follow this trailering wire. So I will bring it out, I will wire it right to here, bring it right under the battery, and literally bring the cord out to here, to where every time trailer's hooked up, camera is hooked up with the same amount of play, and all of the excess will actually be in this equipment well coiled up, which actually has some difficult access, but I'm fine, because I would much rather it to appear seamless than to appear janky. To access that panel, All I have to do is come in here. I have my access panel that I'm creating for the hot water heater, which I may have already put a screw in there just to secure it. But yeah, I will bring it down, then out the nose, and it will appear very seamless. Seamless and troubleless. Detaching it from the back tailgate every time you want to lower the tailgate, or wiring it directly to the tailgate with a permanent wire that comes up the center seems so much more Frankenstein than just mounting it to the top. But I will say that I may have been able to save a few $100s by getting a cheap backup camera that is compatible with absolutely any trailer versus this particular camera, which only works with the GMC. But gives me a pretty good field of view. Let's take a peek. We're going to put a couple of markers out here. We've got the ladder. We've got the blue tape. We've got the tape measure. Now let's go see what we can see of those three things. Thank you guys for bearing with me, but I guess preference is a huge deal. Now, mind you, this is only going to work if you have a GMC with this particular setup. It's not going to work with just any old GMC. Okay, so there's my backup camera. I can see the blue tape, I can see the tip of the ladder, and I can see the measuring tape way down there. It'll definitely give me enough field of view with my other field of views to be able to park this thing legitimately. So that's my left and right. That is just my behind the trailer. And there's my picture-in-picture, left and right. What happens when I turn on a turn signal here? Nothing. Let's put it in backup mode. Nothing. So turn signals don't affect anything as it is. There's my hitch. And we just basically added one view here, and that is a behind the trailer view to my barrage of cameras. The only one I'm missing, ladies and gentlemen, is my interior. I can add one camera to the interior. Don't know if I'm going to do so, but don't know if it's necessary, but we'll find out. Thanks for watching. Happy Thursday, and welcome to another cargo trailer update. Fine-tuning these lights. Fine-tuning these lights. Let's see here. On, blue, Okay, it has been quite an adventure just getting these lights hooked up. There is a pile of failed light attempts. Some of this stuff is very finicky. I tried to rewire the 110 that converted to 12 volt, and I tried to convert it to 12 volt, and it didn't pan out for me. So this one is running technically on 110. This one is running on a USB, and that one's running on a USB, and that one's running on a USB. Don't really love the fact that that's the way it is, but it's the way it is, so I'm gonna live with it. Also, got the backup camera installed, and right now I've got a utility closet right here, and I've dropped down into it. Looks a little ugly, but in a nutshell, I couldn't get the cable through this hole because it has a very large factory tip that needs about a 1.5 inch hole. So I cut a 1.5 inch hole through the roof. Then I protected the hole because there's metal here. Then I fed this coax through, or the conduit through it. There's a lot of slack down there. Then I caulked the hole with construction sealant shut. Then I put biddle tape in a square and then mounted this on top of the biddle and fastened it with sheet metal screws. And then I went and put sealant all the way around. I cleaned everything with alcohol. It's pretty ugly. I imagine I'll have to go with a second coat once this is dry, and maybe smooth it out, turn the whole thing white. But it's all clipped on, and I don't think it's going anywhere. Cleaned all these with alcohol before I fixed them. Not really in love with this system, but I didn't have a lot of options because this whole thing was pretty much built, and I'm not gonna tear out the ceiling or tear out any walls, and there just isn't, and I wasn't gonna run it underneath either. But from front to back, there just is not a lot of access other than under, over, through the ceiling, or through the walls, and my walls are finished. So I'm not gonna tear into the walls to get that cord there, so that's the way I did it. Getting the lights hooked up, still got a long ways to go, and I don't got anything else to say. Happy Saturday and happy Father's Day weekend to all the dads. Today, we are tackling the bathroom. And the bathroom has a shower and it has some lights. And we were going to do a toilet. Now we're talking about maybe doing a organic toilet or a tankless, waterless toilet. But we'll see as the day progresses. The shower, got to pull that out, reframe the bottom to perfection because I just slapped it together. I put up plywood. Okay, so we built a new frame. I just took a 2x4 and built a box that perfectly fit the shower pan. 2x4 wasn't quite tall enough, so then I put a piece of trim underneath, But it actually was, a 2x4 is a little thick. So I sanded the inside of the 2x4 frame, and I had to take a planer to the outside to fit in between these walls. But obviously left and right, we don't have an issue because we're doing good. So I used a standard shower drain. Then underneath, I came straight from one of those slip adapters. Right now, a little 2-inch. I'll get a 1-inch bracket for it in a little bit, but I went straight from a slip adapter to ABS glue with a 45 coming down. I made the hole large enough that I can actually get this contraption out without pulling the shower pan. So if something in the future were to happen to this piece of pipe, I can access it completely from underneath, remove it, replace it, and won't have to disturb the shower pan because, well, the shower pan's going to get locked in with fiberglass paneling and plywood and flooring and all kinds of caulking and craziness. So I do not like these slip adapters. This is a little notch that I put in for a vent because I'm going to need to come in and vent this, but I would like to do it from the top side, and I don't know exactly how I'm going to do it yet. This is 45 is glued in. I will to be continued on that. But at one point I had a little T-joint here, one going sideways that I was going to use to attach a vent. And then I decided that I don't want to do that, that I really want to go from the top. So maybe I 45 down first. And then when this pipe goes in, I find a contraption that has a port on the high side that I can put an air vent so that this drains correctly. And that's all I got. Happy Sunday. It is Father's Day, and we are still working on this bathroom. Waiting for the red to dry. Very, very impatient. I've got the ceiling FRP cut. It's ready to go in. Just waiting for this to dry some more. Oh yeah. Very excited to get this shower built. Very excited to get this little room done. There are so many little details to work on, but we are okay, so we got a little of the FRP up. Still got this wall to do. know what I'm going to do with this wall yet, but if I get this wall up, I can do this with wallpaper and trim. There's all kinds of things I can do with that. I just need to get this wall up and then get it all caulked in. I mean, I've got waterproofing. I've got silicone adhesive behind this. Then I siliconed all the corners. Then I siliconed and put in a PVC strip in the middle. And I'm also going to do a siliconed in baseboard around the bottom. And then I don't know how I'm going to finish this off, but I do want to fill in all these nail holes, probably with hopefully something white, like a white silicone, and make it look all pretty. It's a little harder than I thought it was going to be, but it's going pretty good.